All right, wonderful people, in the midst of selling a home, buying a home, and everything else going on in life, I somehow managed to complete the glorious 1938 Goudey heads up with cartoon set. And I'm going to show you that today. But first of all, warning, this must all be fake news, right? Because there's no way anybody can complete that set. I mean, you can dream about it, you can plan for it, you can start collecting the cards, but do you ever actually complete it? I mean, maybe somebody else does, some theoretical collector, but like somebody else wins the lottery, but do you ever actually win the lottery? Do you? Maybe you have. I hope you bought some nice cards. Yeah, can't believe it. The last card, the 24th one I needed, came in the mail today. This might be the most epic completion of my life. I've only been collecting vintage baseball cards for a handful of years, but prior to that, I collected, some stuff, most notably coins. I've had some pretty epic completions. This might be the most epic completion of my life. I'm going to show you all 24, say a few things, try to keep this from getting too long. Let's get rolling. Let me start by saying, before we look at the cards, kind of some preliminary information here. So it's interesting that Goudey in 1938 marketed the 1938 Goudey set as a continuation of the 1933 Goudey set, which is just kind of crazy because that was 5 years later. So how could that possibly be a continuation of the 1933 Goudey set? Now, this is the first card with cartoons, number 265. We'll get to the front in a little bit, but I just want to show you on the back. I realize the letters are backwards, but note down here where it says, this is, let's see if I can get some focus here. Well, let me turn this around. This is one of a series of 312 baseball stars. It'll work better with the back camera. Oh, what the heck. Let me turn this camera around. Do this right. Okay, here we go. Sorry about those technical difficulties. This is one of a series of 312 baseball stars, right above the big league. 312 baseball stars. All right, so where does the 312 come in? Well, 33 Goudey had 240 cards in the set. Now, cards numbered 241 through 264, referring to my notes here, those were the 24 naked cards. They did not have these black and white cartoons, also called scribbles, around the periphery. So those were cards numbered 241 through 264. Of course, those exist too, but I only went after the ones with the cartoons around the periphery. I am a cartoon snob, I will admit it. The ones with cartoons, I think, generally go for more, are more desirable, seem to be a little tougher to find. I'm not sure there's more of them in existence, but, there seems to be more demand for the ones with cartoons for sure. At least I demanded them. Dylan, Double D Vintage Baseball cards, he's, I think, maybe 4 or 5 cards away from completion as well. We're going to have a wonderful celebration when he completes as well. So he demanded them, I demanded them. There's a bunch of demand right there, let alone whoever else demanded them. Let's see. Oh, man. The great Mangini. He completed a set of 24. Congrats, Mangini. He went with a mixed set, some with cartoons, some without. It's possible he has some that have, I wouldn't be surprised. I think he probably has some both with the cartoons and without. But anyway, so that's the way he decided to roll with it. So then you've got cards numbered 265 through 288. That's the next 24. Those are the 24 with the cartoons, the ones that I collected. But here's the deal. What we just looked at, it said a series of 312. The ones with cartoons only go up to 288. What's going on? Well, it's the mystery 24. Cards numbered 289 through 312 would constitute another 24 cards, and nobody knows. Nobody knows. Did they make them? Probably not, because nobody's found them. The set just goes up to 288. Now, keep in mind, it's really a set of 48 cards, right? Without the cartoons is 241 through 264, 24 without cartoons. And with the cartoons, 265 through 288, 24 with cartoons. So it's really only 48 cards. But when you add those 48 to the 240 from 1933 Goudey, that gets you up to the 288. Again, Goudey trying to get us to also collect all of the 1933 cards to have a completion. Kind of crazy. And then the mysterious 289 through 312, the next unknown 24 that would make the 312 that are mentioned on the back of each card, a series of 312 cards. What would they have done on those other 24? Would they have put different cartoons around the periphery or something completely different? We'll probably never know, or maybe we will if somebody my goodness, if you find one, authentic, that's either card number 289, anyway up through 312, whoa, but I don't think anyone knows, and none are known to exist, which means they probably did not create them, but they planned on it. All right, without further ado, let me turn this camera around. Let's start going through these beauties. Woo, yeah. All right, let's start cruising through these bad boys. Now, I will not read all the cartoons, and basically I'll show the front and back. You can always pause if you want to read any of the cartoons or read the back. So we start with the first one with the cartoons around the periphery. Charlie Gehringer, number 265. This card is so clean and sweet. Let's do this upper right cartoon. A big gun in Detroit's offense, 300 hitter. Let's take a look at the back. Once again, one of a series of 312, even though it's really a series of 48, 24 without the cartoons around the periphery and 24 with. And then that takes us to the next number 266. This one probably, I have several in the grade of 1, but this is probably, arguably the card I have that has the most, condition flaws, is in the lowest condition. Perhaps. But you know what? I absolutely love it. I'm not planning on necessarily upgrading any of these. I mean, look at the color. This is just sweet. 300 hitter, poison. Most any of the pitchers will admit that Pete's hard to take. These cartoons are so wonderful. The colors, I love the back. I love the front. I guess that's why I collected them. That takes us to 267. Joe Cool. If I'm mispronouncing any of these names, please let me know. In a Vintage Greatness 3, Target Man, first base. Joe is acknowledged as one of the best targets to shoot at in either league. Dylan, I know you're freaking out if you're watching this now. I cannot wait for you to complete as well. All right, let's see. That takes us to 268. Frank Damari. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. This is an exceptional 5. Woo, man, I consider this to be a super high grade, practically a 10. This is one of my favorite cartoons on any of the cards in this series. His bat is a nightmare to National Twirlers. I guess that's a National League pitcher that's, having a nightmare about Damari's bat. I'm not sure if I always showed the back. I might have forgotten to do so. So just in case I did, because I don't remember, here's the back of Joe Cool. And here's the back of Irvin Fox. All right, so there we go. There's the first 4. Ooh, man. Continuing on, we've got 269, Frank Pitlack. Pea Puddle Pitlack, as Dylan might say. Notice that, Pea Puddle. All right, I think he calls him Catbutt Pitlack too, but let's not digress too much. I'll let you scope out those cartoons there, and here's the back. And that should take us to number 270. Ernie Lombardi, a Hall of Famer. I won't mention everyone that's a Hall of Famer. Man, I love these. These cartoons are amazing. We got that one up there. Maybe we can get it to focus a little bit more. Maybe we got to go back. How about this one? Smacks Me for 302. And that's number 270. Some of these I think are, maybe undergraded by today's standards or maybe overgraded, But hey, I love them all. That's all that matters. And who the heck is to say what's undergraded and what's overgraded anyway? Grading varies. Just like each card has a not just an exact value. It's more like a range of value, like I don't even know what this card's worth, but it might be like $80 to $120 or $100 to $125 or, whatever the range is, right? I think also there's a range of grades. Maybe this gets a 2 on another day. Heck, you know what, man? It looks like a freaking 3 or 4 to me. A pristine 1. Woohoo! Gonna have to work on that. Joe Vosmick. Number 271, look how fresh and clean that is. Yeah, sometimes I think they're so picky on grading. Is this a super sweet, nice card or what? That's number 271. And now let's move on to number 272. This one just came in the mail today. That's right, folks. Today, this was the 24th one I needed to complete. Dick Bartell. I call him Octopus Man. I have some nicknames for some of these cards because he's got that octopus. Let's see if we can get some nice focus here. That's pretty good. That octopus cartoon. I doubt this would get a 4 today, but I don't care. I was happy to complete. Like I say, some of these might do a little better or not do as well grade-wise. Yeah, this is the reason why I just up here and over here, I think it's probably more apt to be like 3 or who knows, maybe 2. I don't know. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful card. And let's see. Okay, so that's that's the second set of 4. Let's move on. All right, folks, on to the next 4. Number 273, 38 Goudey Heads Up, Jimmy Fox in a fabulous Relic 1.5. I absolutely love that double X down below. Oh, man. All right, this is a good time for me to pause and say a few things, and then we'll start cruising along again. All right, the next card coming is the Joe DiMaggio, the key to the set. So let me just tell you when and how I kind of started collecting this. I just fell in love with these cards. Saw the DiMaggio in a PSA 1 at the 2023 National. Dylan was with me. I picked it up there. Loved the card, but not that copy of the card. So I upgraded, quote unquote, upgraded in 2025 to an SGC Pristine 1, woohoo, which I'll show you in a minute. So the first card I got, again, was in 2022, the DiMaggio, but I upgraded that in 2025. And then 2023. The first card I got was the DiMaggio at the 2023 National, which I upgraded in 2025, not at the National. And then later in 2023, November of 2023, I got this bad boy. Let me just do a quick check here. All right, I generally won't share prices, most notably for the sake of time. However, this was roughly $364, which, it's got its issues, but I still absolutely love it. And yeah, be tough to get that one. Number 273, be tough to get that one at that price now. Oh yeah, so I got the DiMaggio first, and then of course upgraded the DiMaggio 2 years later. So I got the DiMaggio at the 2023 National, and then I got this in November of 2023. And then at the 2024 National in Cleveland, I got the Bob Feller. What a place to get the Bob Feller. That's card number 288, so I'll show that at the end. I wanted to get, the big 3 cards before continuing to work on the set, although I didn't realize that darn Hank Greenberg is a big card as well. So it wasn't until the 2025 National that my big pickup was the Greenberg. And then after that National, then I started going crazy, just trying to make as much progress as I could, because frankly, Double D was kicking my cartoon behind, but I came back. Woo! I came back in a big way. All right, before I show you the DiMaggio, let's talk about something. This is really the only kind of historical notes I'll do for this set, just specifically historical notes on DiMaggio. You'll see why. So in early 1938, I'm kind of reading this, but Joe DiMaggio held out, or at least skimming it. He held out for nearly 3 months, demanding a raise to $40,000 after making $15,000 the year prior in 1937, but the team refused to pay more than $25,000. DiMaggio ultimately caved and signed for the $25,000 on April 20th, so he missed the first 12 games of the season. So the deal is that after this, amazing 1937 season, of course, DiMaggio was amazing in 1936 as a rookie as well. DiMaggio demanded this raise, and felt that he deserved to be the highest paid player in baseball. But Yankee owner Jacob Ruppert said, hey, that's not going to happen. Not even team captain Lou Gehrig makes that kind of money. And DiMaggio famously quipped back that it was too bad Gehrig was underpaid. Well, there was public backlash. Amid the height of the Great Depression, the average American worker made about $1,700 a year. So, $25,000 seems like a pretty good wage. Newspapers blasted DiMaggio as greedy for demanding such a massive sum, turning public sentiment against him. So Ruppert held firm with the, take it or leave it on the $25,000. And of course, DiMaggio couldn't go play for another team with the rules of that day. So he didn't really have any leverage, no ability to test free agency. So ultimately, DiMaggio gave in and accepted the $25,000 contract. I think that was maybe 2 days into the regular season. Anyway, fans initially greeted him with boos and jeers for his perceived greed, asking for all that money. But he silenced the crowds by batting .324 with 32 home runs and leading the Yankees to another World Series title, the third in a row. So basically, here's the deal. The Yankee management, of course, was against him. They're like, yeah, we're not giving you that kind of money. The press was against him. Yeah, you don't deserve that kind of money. What are you thinking, man? You might be a special Joe, but you shouldn't make that much more than the average Joe. And the fans were against him as well. So the trifecta was against him. And that's not all, my friends. Even the cartoons were against him. Check this out in a pristine one. Woo-hoo! Look at that. Now, this is Joe D. So let's read all the cartoons. He's a member of the Yanks Murderers Row and flirts with the home run record. I believe he won it that year, by the way, so he did more than flirt with it. Considered one of the greatest fielders of all time. We'll go to the lower right. Joe rated a niche in this place from the first year in the major league, and of course he did end up in baseball's Hall of Fame. Here it is, folks. Notice, that's Joe DiMaggio carrying a big sack of money that says $25,000 a year, and look what it says, pretty fair salary for a young fellow. So it wasn't just owner Jacob Ruppert that was against him, and the newspapers, and the public, the fans. It was also the cartoons. Even the cartoons were against him. Look at this stunner. Little modeled paper loss, but man, the color, the sharpness, the centering, the registration, this bad boy is insane. Ooh, number 274. All right, we're going to move on to number 275. We've got Bump Hadley, a Yankee as well. And look at this. This is kind of cool. There's a little bird there, and then a little house. These are some of the jerseys from different teams that he had played on. And then on the back, number 275. And now we're going to go 276 to complete this four. Just decided to do these in groups of four. Zeke Benura. Hopefully I said that right. This is one of my favorite cartoons in the whole series. Zeke's a slugger. Oh, what a sock on the noggin. One of baseball's out-of-the-park smackers, Zeke is Power Plus. Man, I love these cartoons, the colors. Oh, these were made for kids. Some people don't care for these so much, but I absolutely love them, which is precisely why I've collected them. All right, 276. Where does that take us? I think we've went through 12 now. Yep, so we're halfway there. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah. By the way, at the end, we're going to look at all of them together. That'll be the first time I've done that, so I'll be seeing them all together for the first time with you. I am honored and humbled. You're coming along for the journey. Looking at the next four, number 277, I like to call him that damn Greenberg because, it took a long time to find this. In a Too Good to Be Two, look at that beauty. Absolutely love it. Now, this is a card I had looked for a long, long time, and this was my big pickup at the 2025 National. It's kind of funny because, I walked and walked that show floor looking for any of these 38 Goudey with cartoons I did not have that were, just that I liked. They didn't have to be high grade. I think my highest grade is 5, that Frank Damari. I think I might have another overgraded 5, although that 5 I don't think is overgraded, but the other one I think is. But anyway, so this dude had this. I think he had it at $9.50. There, lo and behold, it was a display case at the National. He had a couple of display cases, and one of them had very little in it. This was one of the cards just sitting there staring at me. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is it, So I asked if I could see it. He had $9.50, And, you know, I was like, wow. And I don't even know if I had said, what do you want for it? Or I'm not sure I had said anything yet. Maybe I said, what would you like for this? I don't know. Or he may have just volunteered. And he said, you know, 800 cash, and that's firm. And I couldn't get the money out of my wallet fast enough. I was like, yes, sir. 277. All right, let's continue on. But wait, before we move on, Darren is a friend and a local collector, a great guy. He also has this card. I think his is a 2 as well. It might be a PSA 2. I don't remember, but he's got a really nice one. So I am clubbies with Darren. That's pretty sweet. He doesn't make YouTube comment, but he has from time to time been on various YouTube, programs or lives or whatever. So that's really cool. All right, let's see. What was that? That was 277. Yeah, we are moving on to 278. Van Lingelmungo. Now, here's the deal. This isn't the funniest cartoon, but it certainly shows, the racial climate of the day. Again, 1938. See where Van win a 4-hitter yesterday. Yeah, man, that boy's a pitcher. Hails from the cotton country, Pageland, South Carolina. Beautiful card. Another one of these pristine ones. Sometimes I think they're so darn picky. Number 278, so 277, 278, 279, Julius Salters. This is the 5. This is the totally overgraded 5, I think, especially with this corner down here. But you know what? I don't care. I didn't pay too much for it. I love it. I don't care what the number says. Just, do I like the card? Do I like the price? And we're talking 38 Goudey. So basically, I just wanted it to be something that I liked, just reasonably presentable, which is big time growth for me. They labeled him Moose because he was a bit awkward as a rookie. And then we'll look at the back, number 279, Julius Moose Salters. And now let's move on to 280. After that, we'll have 8 to go. So here we go. Vernon Kennedy, number 280. Oh, man. Look at that beauty. Man, the colors on these. Wonderful. Let's see. Ron Kennedy was an all-around athlete in college. There's the back. All right. Let's move on to the final 8, the Elite 8. They're all elite. Woohoo! Okay. Number 281, Mr. Al Lopez. Doesn't matter how hard I try. My videos are a half hour. I guess these are a lot of cards. Number 281. I really am trying to go quicker and move along. Senior Lopez is a real honey gatherer for those bees. His team was the Bees. That's pretty sweet. Man, isn't this sharp? I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. This is an absolute stunner. I also picked this one up at the 2025 National as well. It was crazy. I went a long time on a cartoon drought, and I found this and one other at a table. I was so stoked to bundle and save. Oh, yeah. And then a little later, I found the Greenberg. Kind of came, all at once. I probably spent 8 hours or more than 8 hours, I think, actually, probably, maybe 10, I don't know, over a couple of days looking just, I think, like Wednesday night and then into Thursday, just looking for the ding-dangy darn, graded 38 Goudey with cartoons I did not have. And finally, I found the Lopez and one other, and I was so stoked. And then not long after that, I found the Greenberg. So it kind of comes in waves. Number 282, Bobby Doerr, another Hall of Famer as well of the Red Sox. In fact, I believe this is called his rookie card. Super sweet in this vintage graded 3, just kind of, off center. That's what brings this grade down, I guess, for the most part. But hey, with that yellow border, hey, you hardly notice. Number 282. Oh, man. Let's go for 283, Bill Werber. This one's got a little off registration, but I like the look. It's got its, it's got its issues, but it was inexpensive. And I really like it. Stoked to have it. These are tough, These are tough. There just aren't that many of them graded. I love this. Can this Werber play me? Wow, that's third base. And what a licking he gives me, too. You got to have speed in baseball. I haven't showed all of the animal cartoons. Bill is as fast as a jackrabbit, but I know that Double D, Dylan loves him, and I do as well. Maybe some of you do also. Number 283, Bill Werber. And now number 284, Rudy York. This one might be the least condition with this, scrunching up here. Maybe it's, I don't know, looks pretty nice to me, though. Fabulous relic, 1.5. Look at that. Kind of has a, almost looks patriotic with those red stripes. This is sweet. He's a giant salute up at that dish. Rudy's giving this one a chase too. Was he in the National League? He might have hit that home run record. I don't recall. I may have looked it up at one point. All right. Okay, we are down to the final four. Numbers 285, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, let's do it. All right, wonderful people. The final four, by the way, this one, I've shown it before on another video, but it's got a hole right there through the card. It is not a 2.5. It's a 1, maybe a 1.5, but, you know, that's all right. I'm not going to try to upgrade it. It looks great. I didn't pay too much. It looks awesome. So, besides, I think they take too many points off for a little pinhole anyway myself, and I'm sure Mookie would agree. Ha ha ha. So this is 285, Raymond Rip Radcliffe. And now, number 286, I believe another Hall of Famer, Ducky Medwick, in a Too Good to Be 2. Oh, now we're talking about animal cartoons. Now let's see. Now you know the secret. Swims like a duck, said a Houston, Texas girl, and from then on, he's been called Ducky. I love this one. Believe it or don't, he likes to play ping pong. I guess I'll believe it unless it's, you know, fake news. What the heck do I know? I probably missed showing the back of one or two of these. It would not surprise me. I always miss something when I make a video. I always misspeak a time or two. Watch, this will be the time I didn't misspeak, which means saying I always misspeak will be a misspeak. Oh, well. 287, Marvin Owen. Ah, these cartoons are so sweet. Look at this. Plays the hot corner, third base like nobody's business. He's an outstanding third baseman. Bad news for heavers or pitchers at all times. He's ready to hit that ball. Look at that beauty. Very good, excellent plus. They all look basically, look at that with that. Is that really that high of a grade? They all look the same, regardless of what the number says. They're all the same condition. They've just fooled us by putting different numbers on them. All right, let's see. Oh, this is the last one. Now, this is crazy. I got this from Bill Chappell at the 2024 National, again in Cleveland. And this is, I do believe, the undisputed Bob Feller rookie card. And this thing is a freaking gem. And, you know, it would be more expensive now. In fact, I probably wouldn't be starting this collection now just because of, you know, how expensive the DiMaggio is in particular to get one that I would like, even in a 1. But anyway, I digress. The last card with cartoons, number 288. It's got that diamond cut, but I still think, to me, I think it's conservatively graded because if you have looked at this card, look at this. The registration, the color, the freshness, the sharpness. I mean, come on, man. Come on. This thing is insane. Pack, fresh. Maybe just the slightest of corner wear, but my goodness. Throwing through that hole in the fence isn't so easy. How Bob perfected his control. I believe there's truth to that back on the farm. Oh, look at this. Jumped right into big league ball from high school. This dude was big news back in the day. Look at the back, number 288. That's it, folks. That's it. There's the final four. Now we're going to do them all at once. Oh, man. And then we'll have kind of, you know, sort of a quick wrap up. Prepare to be blown away. Oh, man. Oh, woman. Oh, man. Look at that. Now, some of you are inevitably going to ask, would I want them all in the same grading company's slab, like all PSA, all SGC? The answer is, I don't care. I'm more of an opportunist. I'm slab gnostic. In fact, I would have taken some of these in BVG or maybe CGC or, you know, Sports Collectors Digest is my favorite, but it just so happens I ended up with exactly half of this collection in SGC, 12 SGC, 12 PSA, just played out that way. All right, whoa, look at that. Oh, man, this might be a thumbnail. We'll see. All right, let's just kind of cruise through them relatively quickly. I know there's going to be some glare. I'll try to kind of be steady. I'm not going to, you know, spend too much time here. You can always slow down the video if you wish, or speed it up if you wish. So there's the first 8. Again, the Dick Bartell, the one that came in the mail today. Here's the next 8, the Fox. Oh, look at that DiMaggio. Whoa, man. I'm getting goosebumps right now, people. I kid you not. Listen, I don't prepare for these videos. You probably know that. The Greenberg. Yeah, this is not staged, but you could figure that out. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know this is not staged. Man, oh man, there's the feller. Now you might even ask, what's my favorite? You know, well, that feller is, you know, it's the DiMaggio, it is, but that feller, I mean, actually, I absolutely love every single one of these. Every single one. I cannot believe this. This is absolutely insane. Wow. But if I could only keep two of these, it would be the DiMaggio and the feller, I believe. If I could only keep three, it gets really, really tough. Maybe the Greenberg. Probably the Greenberg, but maybe the Fox. Yeah. Oh. All right, let me pause this so I can get set up for the outro. All right, just a few minutes ago while this video was paused, my wife told me we got an offer. I don't know if it's a good one. I think it might be contingent, so you know, we might like it, we might pass on it, who knows. But I'll go scope that out after this outro, which is, wow, I can't believe this. I absolutely cannot believe this. You know, I'm not really a set collector. I have no interest in collecting.